Good evening and welcome to Being Deeply. Today I'm going to talk to you about some of the travels I've been on, and later on in the video I'm going to discuss trust and intuition and how it all unfolded and connected with my travel story. Now, this is different from the videos I've made before. I won't typically make travel vlogging videos. However, my last video was on overcoming fear, and I mentioned I was gonna buy a motorcycle, which I've never driven before, and just hit the road. And many of you had asked to see where my journey has taken me. So that's why I'd like to start off with telling you a little bit of what's happened. So I ended up buying a moped, and I ended up going on adventures around Zipolite for a while. In fact, I made a bunch of friends in Zipolite, and we made a moped gang called the A's. So before I left, we went and toured, and we went to Porto Escondido for a few days, and then we got back a week later. We went to Huatuco, and while we were in Huatuco, a few of us decided to go check out a beach town that was just a short drive from Huatuco. And me and one of my friends, Sean, ended up getting separated from the group, and it turned out to have been the best thing that could have happened. We ended up going down the wrong road looking for them, but the wrong road ended up into a dead end with a nice long trail through the forest, which led to the most beautiful beach in the entire area. And it was the beautiful beach that everyone was looking for. So our evening ended up being a blessing in disguise, because we decided to just go with the flow. And on the way, me and Sean again decided to take a different route back to Zipolite from the rest of the guys. And we ended up taking a dirt road along the ocean as opposed to the highway, and finding so many hidden gems of beautiful places and small towns that aren't even on the map. And when we got back, I ended up staying in Zipolite longer than I would have thought. I was planning to just hit the road pretty shortly after I made that video. But after going on those adventures, I realized that I needed to upgrade the motorcycle that I had. And I sold the one that I bought and upgraded to a new one. And it turned out that I bought a new moped the evening before departing. I decided to depart and go on a road trip with my friend Sean, because he was going to go and leave Zipolite as well, and we both kind of had the same initiatory, but we were heading in opposite directions. So on the first day of this road trip, my brand new moped that I just bought was running out of gas, and I didn't think I was going to make it to the next gas station. So we decided to pull over in a small town, or a small road that led to a town, to see if we could buy some gas in some plastic bottles there. And we ended up meeting some super friendly people, and we were offered some beers. We hung out for a while, and he said the gas station was just up the road. So we went back down the hill, and at the intersection of the highway and this little town, my motorcycle would not start. I became stranded. But many people, some locals, had noticed this, and some of them stopped by to offer a helping hand. The guys we were drinking with came by to try and jumpstart me, and someone just pulled over off the side of the road in their car to see if they can help. And before we knew it, there was a big group of us trying to repair my motorcycle on the side of the highway as it was getting dark. Unfortunately, we weren't able to fix it, and I had to try and get my moped up to the nearest hotel and sleep for the night. The person that pulled over off the side of the highway to try and fix the motorcycle asked if he could bring it over to his house, have his girlfriend drive it there, and he would fix it for me. And I wasn't really comfortable with this idea. So I asked instead to have me get pushed up the hill to the hotel. And I was getting pushed literally by my friend and the person trying to repair me with their foot on the back of my motorcycle as I was driving with a headlight to try and find the way up the hill. I decided to do this because there was a repair shop right by the hotel. So the next morning I just took it to the repair shop, and they tried many different things. They checked many different problems, and they said that it was unfixable. It was now garbage, it wasn't worth fixing, it wouldn't be worth the cost, and that I got ripped off from the guy that sold it. So I was stuck on my first day in this small town in the middle of a highway in Mexico called San Marco. But lo and behold, the friendly fellow that pulled over and tried to fix my bike on the highway pulled over again and found us in front of the hotel. And I decided to let him take it over to his place and try and fix it. I mean, as far as I knew, it was now garbage and no longer worth anything. And that turned out to be the best thing to do, because I left it there with him, and before I knew it, he had it completely fixed, and he hardly wanted to charge me anything at all. The night before, I tried to pay him for all of the work he's done, hours of work, getting gas, and he didn't want to accept a single penny, saying that God was watching and that he was trying to help somebody out. So I decided to give him a nice tip, which was the total repair from paying him on the side of the highway and taking it to his house came up to, and including my tips, was 450 pesos, which is like $20 or something like that. And a super friendly, honest guy. So after 2 nights in this small town, we were back on the road, and then we made it straight to Acapulco the next day. And Acapulco is known to be a dangerous part of Mexico now. The cartel has taken it over, is what we've heard. And we shouldn't try and get there in the evening time because it could be unsafe. So we actually ended up staying in another town before we got there, and arrived the next morning. And when we got there, it was complete pandemonium, absolute craziness in terms of traffic and buildings and people everywhere. I suppose I'm not used to all the hustle and bustle after staying in such a small town for so long. But it turned out to be a beautiful place. It was fairly quiet because there's low tourism. Only tourism was Mexican people from Mexico City. Hardly anyone else from any other part of the world. But it wasn't really my kind of scene. It was like the Miami of Mexico. It was a big tourist resort city on the ocean, where I prefer to be in small, subtle, unique places. So we spent a few days in Acapulco, and then we went straight to Zihuatanejo, in which I am right now. And it's been a wonderful journey, a crazy adventure with lots of detours and dirt roads and views and adventures. But Zihuatanejo is my favorite place in Mexico so far. It's absolutely beautiful. little cove with the town all the way around it. It's wonderful here. So in this story and in my travels, I learned about trust and intuition. I was told that Acapulco is a dangerous place and not to go there. And I was told that Mexico itself is dangerous and that I could get robbed, or that people might not have my best interests in heart. But everyone I've met has been absolutely beautiful. They've been as helpful as they can be, willing to offer a hand any way they could. And what I found from traveling around this short time is that people in general are inherently good and want to try and help. And you're generally going to meet and bring out the same kind of people that you are yourself. That places that you've been told are dangerous are generally quite fine. The majority of the population are good people. And if you're living a good life and you're an honest person, for the most part, you're going to be safe. And I learned about trust as well. This friendly person pulls up to the side of the highway to try and fix my motorcycle out of the goodness of his heart. And he wouldn't want to accept any payment for it because he couldn't get it fixed. And he said God was watching. But I wouldn't trust him to let him take it back to his house without knowing where it was. Now, of course, logically speaking, that makes sense not to let someone take your new motorcycle to a place that you don't know where it is. But to be honest, I wasn't listening to my heart. I wasn't listening to my intuition. My feeling said that he was a good and honest guy, but my rational mind said that this is dangerous and I could be getting robbed. I should keep my whereabouts around me when I'm in Mexico. After I got it back from the repair shop and they said that nothing could be done or it wasn't worth doing the repair, I figured that there's no harm in bringing it to this kind man's house to see if he can fix it, and it turned out to be the best thing that could have been done. If I was more willing to openly trust people, give them the benefit of the doubt, I would have had the best outcome right away. And if I was more willing to actually listen into my intuition over the logic and the rational mind saying that this wasn't the best thing to do, I would have been on my way and going to new places a whole another day sooner. So I guess what my message is that assume the best of people, and that's most likely what you're going to see of people. And also that you're most likely going to bring out the characteristics of people that you have true to yourself. If you're a good-hearted, honest person, in many cases, that's how people are going to act around you. And also that places that people say are dangerous generally are pretty safe. I would say that Acapulco is no more dangerous than Vancouver, where I'm from. In fact, if you're not into drugs or you don't go into sketchy areas, I would say that Acapulco is even safer than Vancouver. So it's more important to listen to your heart and go explore anyways. However, this video has become pretty long, so I'm gonna wrap it up. But before I do, I'd like to ask you about what you thought about this format. If you'd like to hear more about this journey I'm on, as well as me try and correlate in some insights and some wisdoms, let me know. Or if you want me to just have videos on different topics, such as meditation or just inspirational videos. Let me know what you think, and let me know what you want to hear me talk about. Leave it in a comment, and like this video if it's something you enjoyed. And if you could, please share it. That is the best way you can help grow this channel. So, as always, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I love all of you very much. Thank you.